Good morning, YouTube. This is Brother Devlon. Just doing a quick update. We added a clothesline. It has 4 sections on it. Let's see if I can point out 1, 2, 3. See, 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's 20 feet long. We put this up yesterday. Concreted it in the ground so it's good and sturdy. And now we shouldn't have to use the dryer as much. Part of being ready to get off the grid is learning how to do things without electricity. As you can see, we also have I believe it's a 350 gallon propane tank. So instead of having to use electric heat when the grid goes off, we have propane. And we also have house of wood. Here's one of our dogs. Her name is Bella. She is a pit bull. That's her doghouse. So we have wood stacked up. This is some hickory, and we got some pine for starter, some little chips. And we also got a little pile over here of just some more starter pieces. So we're ready, if the grid goes off, to cook and to keep warm in the winter. Of course, we have another video on the garden. There is some pumpkin. That's another thing of pumpkin. This was a garlic that didn't come up, so I planted a tomato plant there. This garlic came up. The peppers didn't come up, so I replanted all 4 hills of pepper. There's 2 hills of hot pepper and 2 hills of the sweet banana pepper. The tomatoes are doing lovely. As you can see, we have added a cage around it so it can grow up. That's the second thing of tomatoes. The cage around it. We're going to have cages around all the vining plants. The bell pepper was barely coming up, so we replanted some more seeds of bell pepper on today. Of course, you see we have a little tomato cage around that as well. That's another pepper, bell pepper. And we replanted the 2 eggplants since they haven't came up yet. Hallelujah. The cauliflower is doing very well, all the way down to the end of the row. Nice, big, healthy leaves. The broccoli, the ones that came up, they are doing very well. If you remember a few videos back, we had to replant some broccoli, but the 4 or 5 that came up are doing exceptionally well. The cabbage, we had to replant the whole row, but it looks like one of the cabbages from the initial planting has popped out the ground and it's looking very well. So 3 weeks from now, we should see cabbages all the way down this row. The lettuce that's just now start growing, we replanted that 2 weeks ago, so it's going to take a few weeks for you to really see it, but there are a little these specks that are popping through the dirt, but you'll be able to see it noticeably on the camera in 2-3 more weeks. The kale is doing very, very well. Look at all that kale we're going to have. They make nice salads. Mixed with some lettuce and spinach and just have a mixed green salad. The spinach. First half didn't do so well, but as you can see, the second half did exceptionally well. Look at that big spinach. Look at these potatoes. They've already grown out of the tire, and some of them are, 4 to 6 inches past the tire. Look at these. So it's about time to put another tire on top, add more dirt, and add some more potatoes, and keep stacking. Look at the nice pretty leaves they also make as well. And if you need tires, don't buy them. Just go to any place that sells tires. new or used, they will give you all their old tires for free because they have to pay a disposal fee for the government. So if you want to take tires off their hand, they would give them to you for free. But if you return them, you have to pay them to take them. So if you are going to get tires to do potatoes, make sure you're going to keep up with it because, like I said, they are free to get, but they cost to give away. Here's our blueberry plant we got a while back. It is, I'm zooming in on that. Yeah, blueberry. So we didn't get to plant it in the ground, but we did transplant to a bucket several videos back with the sisters helping. And later this year, we will take it out the bucket and put it into the ground. The collard. Look at those collards go. Lots of collard greens. We love collard greens, especially with hot sauce and cornbread on top of it. Look at the Swiss chard. Look at these nice red stems and bright lime green flowers. They're doing very, very well. There are some beans, and they are growing exceptionally well. We are going to put some more stakes in this row and either use some of this chicken wire to make a trellis or buy some bean trellis. But either way, we are going to trellis these up next week. The peas are still doing well. Hallelujah. All praise to the Most High. They're getting just as tall as the beans. Their leaves aren't as big, but they are the same height as those beans over there. Here are our peas. And there are the white onions. All the way down. The onions did good from the start. We planted some bulbs. And we did 4 side by side and 18 feet down of onions, white onions. The radish are doing great. They will be ready to be picked next week. We probably could pick them this week. I'm just going to give them another week, just see if they get any bigger. But other than that, the radishes will be done next week. We only planted 1 row of radishes because they grow every 6 weeks. So we can pull this row, throw seed back down again. Next 6 days and 6 to 8 weeks, we time to pluck them back up again. And we have a praise report for the okra. I know in the first few videos, the okra was not coming up. It just got a late start. As you can see, the okra is growing all down the row. So, look at that okra. Here is our other dog. Her name is Thunderstorm. We just call her Storm for short. Look at her posing for the camera. Saints, we have a good surprise for you. That big brush pile we had is not gone. Pastor came down. We had a bulldozer here, and we contoured the land so that the land does not flood anymore. We're going to find out in a few hours how good of a job that man did, because it's supposed to rain for the next 5 days. But as you can see, all that grass that was there, it's not gone. The land has been contoured. I'm kind of standing on the high point, and it's been scraped to go downward this way and then go downward all the way down to the pond. Walking toward the pond now, and we're close to the pond, and as you can see, the land levels down toward the pond. And it's going to flow. It's a little slope going into the pond area, which we are going to dig deeper and put a fountain and a pump into it. And that'll be a good source of water to clean up and pump toward the garden, as well as throw a few fish in it. And so like aquaponics, we can give them water and fertilizer at the same time. We also planted in the greenhouse today. We got 2 rows of spinach here, 4 rows of carrots on this side, 2 more rows of cabbage right here. Let's see. 2 rows of spinach, followed by 3 rows of lettuce, 1 row of Swiss chard, and 2 more rows of kale. We have added cages to our vining squash plants over here. As you can see, the cucumber is doing well. Another cucumber. This here is the cantaloupe has come up. So has this cantaloupe come up. The watermelon did not come up, so we replanted that on today. We replanted this watermelon as well. But the yellow squash is doing fantastic. So is this yellow squash over here. The zucchini is doing well, as well as this one. And one day after I shot the video last week, the butternut squash decided to come up. I guess after I called it out for not coming up, it decided to pop through the ground. Both of them. And here's another view of the land that was contoured going toward the front. There's the house over there. And you can see all of this has been scraped and graded all the way toward the street so that the water will, as it rains from that high point by that tree, will either go downward this way toward the street, or will go downward that way toward the pond, so that we do not have any more flooding issues when it rains. And we're going to plant grass in the future. We got to see how the contouring went, but give it a few weeks, we'll plant some grass and it'll look beautiful like it did a few weeks back. Hallelujah. Bless y'all, saints. Meet Thunderstorm. Tell them bye, Thunderstorm. And here's Isabella. We just call her Bella for short. Tell them bye, Isabella. Shalom.